Borges nods his thanks and refocuses on his task. Honestly, like, it looks like he used someone to wipe the sweat off of his forehead, too. Lord Sander's pain grows quickly, and he grits his teeth as several painful whimpers escape. He stiffens, and I see tears from in his eyes. I redouble my efforts, not bothering to wring out the cloth before bringing it to his skin. At this point, it doesn't seem to be helping. Lord Sander eventually starts to scream, breaking Borges' concentration. It's only momentary, but Lord Sander writhes for several seconds before Borges is able to reassert his magic. Marcel, I need you to... Ah! My bag, go into it and pull out the nightgrass, long purple-gray blades with a waxy coating, right? Yes, exactly. I nod and rush over to his bag. I rummage through the contents before finding a bundle of plant that I'm looking for. Before Borges can direct me, I begin tearing it into smaller pieces and then take it to Lord Sandor. Swallow this! Lord Sandor nods and opens his mouth. I pour the plant bits into his mouth just before he grits his teeth in pain once more. That done, I head back to the bucket and pick it up. Just a little bit isn't helping anymore, so I make a decision and dump the rest of the water on Lord Sandor. It seems to stall the onslaught of pain briefly, and with the aid of the plant, Borges is able to force the pain down to a more tolerable level. The potion's effect lasts for another 30 minutes. Oh my gosh, 30 minutes or so before Lord Sandor is finally able to rest. Oh my goodness. Borges and I leave the room, letting Vincent take over from this point on. I feel exhausted. I let out a sigh and then notice that Borges looks devastated. I don't think it worked. We don't know that. I tortured him for no reason. I made him go through all that for nothing. Again, we don't know that. I knew it was a stupid idea, but I told myself it was going to work this time. Borges! I'm about ready to slap him. Regardless of the results, it was worth a try. Sorry, I'll be okay. I just need some time. He puts on a smile and looks at me. You're incredible, though. I blush a bright red. You've been studying hard, haven't you? You knew exactly what I wanted back there. Well, that was mostly luck. I just happened to remember some of the section on plants from that book you gave me. It wasn't just luck. I think you might actually have a talent for this kind of thing. He lets out a small chuckle. I'll have to watch out or you might become a better doctor than me. Nuh-uh, no way. That back there was way too stressful. I don't plan on doing any doctor work after all this Lord Sandor stuff gets solved. Too bad. You could help a lot of people. Borges says goodbye at the door and leaves me with that thought. It was definitely hectic back there, but helping people might make something like that worth it. Marcel being a doctor would be really cool, I have to say. Relationship with Aloy. Oh, great. My relationship with Kamal is going very well. Okay. So... charm, shopkeepers. Let's get some management in there. Haul luggage. Take inventory. Take inventory. Take inventory. Take inventory. I'm cleaning up after a few nobles when Borges comes into the room. Do you have a minute, Marcel? Yeah, just let me take care of these plants real fast. I reach across the table and grab a plate when my shirt sleeve slips a little. Marcel. Can I take a look at your arm? My arm? I glance at my arm and see a bruise. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that. It's just a bruise. A bruise from what? Kamal, I dropped my guard too much and he got a good hit in. Does this happen often? Well, yeah, I guess. I see. Without another word, Borges leaves the room. Oh dear, I think I know where this is going. I better follow him. Sure enough, when I catch up to Borges, I find him scolding Kamal in the garden. I don't need to beat him back. You don't need to beat him black and blue to prove your point. Borges goes on for a bit long before I interrupt. I don't think this is really fair to Kamal. Borges, it's fine. It's not fine, Marcel. If Kamal is really such a great warrior, he should be able to teach you without hurting you. Kamal lets out a sigh. I'm not teaching him how to play with a sword. I'm teaching him how to fight. Fights aren't clean. They are brutal and unforgiving. Holding back won't help him learn how to win a real fight. When is he going to get into a real fight? He works as a household servant. Guys, stop arguing and listen to me already. Both of them turn their attention to me and suddenly I don't know what to say. I guess I didn't think this through. Still, I guess I just need to convince Borges that it's not something he should be worried about. Okay, I've got this. I really like training with Kamal, and I'm glad that he takes me seriously. If he didn't, I feel like he was looking down on me. Borges hesitates, but ultimately lets out a sigh and relaxes a little. Then I overreacted. A little. Thank you, though. I'm happy that you were worried about me. I still don't like the idea of you getting bruises, though. Is there any way you could tone down your practices just a little bit? No. Kamal, we're supposed to say something non-committal, like we'll see what we can do, and then just not do it. Borges and Kamal glared at each other, neither of them backing down. I'm gonna have to take a side, aren't I? Still, whoever I side with, they might take it as me favoring one over the other. I should consider this decision carefully. Side with Kamal. I'm sorry, Borges, but I don't want Kamal to go easier on me. It's my decision. I'm a grown man. I might not have many chances to use what he teaches me, but I do want to learn it. And I want to learn it right. I'm not going to be able to persuade you otherwise, am I? No. This is what I want. Alright. Just try to get better so injuries like this happen less, I guess. I like Borges, though. But Kamal's my man. Thanks, Borges. Borges nods and takes his leave. I'm sorry. I mean what I said, but I'm still sorry that I hurt you. I didn't realize it was that bad. Aww. It's okay to say something if you need to take some time to heal up after a fight. So basically, you fought with Borges for no reason? He places a hand on my head and ruffles my hair. Thanks for siding with me. Of course, Kamal. Of course. You and I, bro. We good. We good. Oh, now my strength is 20. My reputation is only 15, though. Oh, it's these two. Hey, Marcel, can I ask you kind of a personal question? That necklace you're wearing, it has a ring attached to it, doesn't it? I kind of get a glimpse of it every once in a while, but it's so quick I'm not completely sure. Pervert. I cover up my chest for effect. Huh? Oh, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I'm totally checking you out, Marcel. You know, so I have a new target if I ever get bored of peeping in on Lord Sheeran's baths. I know the first part is a joke, but do you really? Marcel, I am a lady. I would never really do something so crude. I'd like to point out that a real lady wouldn't even make the joke in the first place, but I figure I should let her have this one. Though I guess I can't honestly say I haven't seriously considered it. Multiple times. I would have probably slept easier not knowing that. Licia might just be devious enough to go through with it. Thankfully, it's Lord Sheeran's problems and not mine. Anyway, you didn't answer my question. Right. You are correct. It is a ring. I pull it out from under my shirt to show her properly. I put it down on a chain because I thought it'd keep me from losing it. That and this way it doesn't get in the way of any of the jobs I might have to do. Yeah, real practical. But who cares about that? You have a ring. Yes, we have established that. Does that mean you're engaged or something? Eh? Marcel is engaged? Renee stops what she's doing and hurries over to where we're at in an excited gleam in her eyes. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. Before I have a chance to object, she jumps to me and takes me into a firm hug. Renee, wait a minute, Wait, so you really are engaged? No, I'm not engaged. Renee lets go of me abrupt. And then strokes her chin thoughtfully, a suddenly serious expression on her face. Is it more than that, then? Did you get married? But if that's the case, he didn't invite us. Marcel wouldn't do that. Not without a good reason anyway. Maybe he had to keep his wedding a secret. Oh, so he's eloping with some noble's daughter or something? Yes, an evil baron. Marcel is eloping with an evil baron's daughter. I'm not into girls, ladies. Oh, and the evil baron has this horrible evil laugh and a gigantic mustache. Is that too cliché? Never mind, who cares? It's cliché because it's good. Renee nods vehemently. True. If our evil baron doesn't have a great big hairy mustache, I have to question the purity of his villainous ambitions. I'm starting to think they care more about their story than the actual truth behind it. What about his daughter? She should have a mustache too. It can be genetic. And yet, Marcel still saw past that and loves her for the woman she is. Aw, you're such a great guy, Marcel. You know what? I don't care. I think I'm just going to get back to work if it takes too much longer. Marcel approves. Well, if he's that accommodating, we should just make the daughter a son and a gladiator. Renee's eyes glow as she claps her hands together in a pleased manner. A beast of a man with an angular jaw and pulsing muscles that can be bound by no armor. Well, they are right about that. Do we need to put a gladiator in every story? If you want it to be a good story, then yes. Wait. A beast of a man with an angular jaw and pulsing muscles that can be bound by no armor. Do we need to put a gladiator in every story? If you want it to be a good story, then yes. It can be just as good with a slender, pretty boy type. Marcel will just have to fill that role. Alicia stares at me down for what feels like a full minute, looking very unimpressed. Nah. I'm actually more insulted by that, and I probably should be. He's just going to have to do. I'm not budging on this. The gladiator stays. Alicia sighs. Fine, I'm over it. So Marcel is eloping with a handsome gladiator who happens to be the son of an evil baron. That's right. But if our gladiator is so buff, shouldn't he be the protagonist? Fair point. In that case, we'll just swap the roles. Marcel can be the damsel in distress. Gender roles much? Wait, I'm confused. Does that make him the evil baron's son then? Or is the gladiator still the son? And does Marcel have a mustache? Right, I'm done. I turn, intending to get back to work when I see the Vincent standing in the doorway. This, I have to say, the writing in this is pretty good. It's pretty well done. And it's just a lot of fun, like, voice acting the dialogue. It's super fun. I really hope he didn't hear too much of Licia and Renee's conversation. Vincent clears his throat, alerting the other two of his presence. Vincent, sorry. I got carried away again. I noticed. For a second I wonder if Lycia's in trouble, but then Vincent sighs and I know he's already forgiven her. Just remember to get some work done while you're making up crazy stories, please. I don't want to have to fire you and Renee over something so trivial. Right. We understand. We just got a little excited after learning that Marcel has a secret lover. What? He's wearing a ring on that necklace of his. A present like that can only mean one thing. Vincent turns a vibrant shade of red. Is that so? Rings have a lot of connotations to them, so it'd be weird to get one from someone who you aren't in some kind of relationship with. I mean, I guess there are rings that indicate position and stuff, but since Marcel is still working here, I'm assuming it doesn't mean he's suddenly nobility or anything. So yeah, a lover is the easiest conclusion to draw. Agreed. I see. I sigh. Maybe I should have just told him that when he gave it to me, I would have spared him some embarrassment. Vincent closes his eyes and takes a deep breath before making his confession. I was the one who gave Marcel the ring. Both Licia and Renee's hands go to their mouths. Oh my. They have to know it was a misunderstanding, right? I can't really imagine Vincent being bold enough to give anyone a ring with those sorts of intentions. I'd better clear it up just in case. It doesn't mean anything, you two. It's just a gift Vincent gave me for doing him a favor. That's all. There is no special meaning tied to it. That's no fun. I'm disappointed too. I was looking forward to mocking you endlessly, Marcel. Still, you must have done him quite the favor. It's a very expensive-looking ring. Maybe Vincent hired Marcel to assassinate a troublesome noble that was bothering Lord Sandor. Ooh, I like it. How about... Ladies, for goodness sake, drop the stories for now and get back to work. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. The two dart back in their stations and start working seriously. I move to join them when Vincent stops me. Marcel, may I have a word in private? Licia and Renee glance over their shoulders briefly, but refocus when Vincent sends a no-nonsense glare their way. I nod and both of us step out of the kitchen. We head to the main entrance to put enough space between us and my nosy kitchen companions. I am deeply sorry. I hope you can forgive me. For what? I was unaware that the ring I bought you would become a topic of interest. If I had given it more thought, I should hope that I would have realized that it was not an appropriate gift, which is why they should have given me the choice to reject it. However, I did not, and that's my reason for apologizing. Now, if you give the ring back to me, I will get it exchanged for something less inclined to start awkward rumors. Vincent holds out his hand, expecting me to place the ring there. I shake my head and back off automatically. No, give him the ring, Marcel. Give me a choice, game. Come on. I don't want to. Now you're just being greedy, Marcel. I bite my lip, not sure where this reaction is coming from. I knew I liked it, but I didn't realize that I was so ready to throw a tantrum to keep it. I really don't want to give the ring back. I mean, I know it's kind of inconvenient. I don't really have a use for a ring. It already caused a misunderstanding, but still, I'm not giving it back. But no one has ever gone through the trouble of picking out a gift this nice for me. I will exchange it for something of equal value. You don't have to worry about receiving something lesser, and that's not it. I don't care about that. What it isn't is what is important. What is important is that you took the time to pick something out specifically for me. You didn't take the easier out either. You could have just picked up a random book and I would have liked it, but it honestly would have been that memorable. Instead, you went out of your way and took a chance at something that was frankly a bit absurd. Vincent shifts a bit uncomfortably at the absurd description. Marcel, stop leading the poor boy on. Please, why, game, you should have given me this choice. You didn't give me a choice on whether or not to accept the ring. You're not giving me the choice of whether to give him back the ring, which to me is a big, giant strike game. I'm loving this game. I really am enjoying this game. But if there is a very glaring strike against it, I have to point it out. But that's why it worked. I never would have imagined getting something like this ring, and that's why. You can't take it back. I'm keeping it, and that is final. I feel like a child. I know I shouldn't get overly attached to objects. I do, but just this once. It's embarrassing, but if I get to keep the ring, fighting Vincent on this will be worth it. Vincent sighs and his shoulders slump, telling me that he doesn't intend to argue further. You really like it that much? I do. Then I won't try to take it from you anymore. Actually, a slight blush creeps onto his cheeks. I'm happy that you like it enough to defend it so adamantly. You do realize that Licia and Renee will continue to tease you for it, don't you? They'll find something to tease me about no matter what. Fair point. Then they'll probably drag you into it now that they know you gave me the ring, though. Perhaps suggest that I would make a good pirate, then. He says it so seriously that it takes me a minute to realize it's a joke. Once I do, I can't help but let out a laugh. I mean, I still want to be his friend. I don't want to lead him on, but I still want to be his friend. I don't want to... Thing is, I don't want to, like, lead him on. So, I'm be like, I don't think it's really up to me. Honestly, Renee is probably going to make you gladiator regardless of what I say. You have a point. Miss Renee does have that particular obsession. Vincent sighs. Even in fiction, I doubt I'd make a good gladiator. No offense, but I don't really see it either. Vincent smiles. None taken. I'll leave the gladiator business to Kamal. Anyway, I suppose I should let you get back to work. I have duties of my own to attend to as well. Right. Do me a favor and don't let Licia and Renee get too carried away. That's easier said than done. I have no doubt of that. Still, I trust you. That said, Vincent takes his leave. I watch him go, taking a minute to gather my thoughts. He trusts me, huh? Okay. Alright. We need... Kamal has been quiet today. I guess he's just focusing on work, but I kind of wish he'd say something. Just as I'm about to ask him if something is wrong, he speaks up. We need to talk. Those words never seemed to mean something good. Okay. You've gotten pretty close to Vincent, right? I guess, yes. Kamal nods. But you spend a lot of time in the garden as well. Your point? Kamal sighs. This will probably sound like it's coming out of nowhere, but I value my friendship with Vincent and I'd like to head off any potential problems before they arise. What do you mean? Let's see, how to put this. I don't want you to become a source of conflict between us. You think I'm going to get in the way of your friendship? I have to admit, I'm having a hard time processing this. Kamal lets out another sigh. Not intentionally. I'm still not really getting this. I know, sorry. It's fine, I get that it's not something that's easy for you to talk about. No, it's not. Maybe I'll just skip the explanation and jump directly to the question. If you had to choose between me and Vincent, who would you choose? And if I told you I didn't want to choose between the two of you? I'd understand, but it wouldn't be helpful. Look, this doesn't mean you can't be friends with both of us. Yeah, I want to be able to be friends with Vincent. In fact, I'd be very happy if you were friends with Vincent. This is just something I need to know to avoid complicating things. I don't really want to give Kamal an answer, but I know he wouldn't be asking if this wasn't important to him. And if it's important to him, I think I owe Kamal an honest answer. Okay, just give me a minute. Kamal nods. He turns his attention back towards his work while I go over my options. I like both of them, but I don't want to mess up the relationship by being indecisive. Kamal isn't asking for something impossible. Come on, Marcel, you can at least narrow it down, can't you? I take another minute for giving Kamal my answer. I like you best. Kamal nods, a serious expression on his face. You're not happy about it? No, it's not that. I'm just not sure how to tell Vincent. Oh, that's interesting. Vincent and Kamal have been talking about them liking Marcel. That's interesting. I am actually overheard. Both of us jumped slightly in surprise. Sorry, I was coming to check up on the two of you, and well, you can guess the rest. You okay? Yes, I'm okay. It had to happen. Kamal, I knew, is my man through and through. I'm a little sad, but I'm happy for both of you too. It's kind of a weird feeling, to be honest. This is why I didn't want to lead him on. I didn't want to take his ring, and when he offered to return it, I should have returned it, but the game didn't. So the game. I'm disappointed. The game really should have let us make it clear. The thing is with these, the thing that and it's not just a problem with this game, with this visual novel, is in so many of these types of visual novels, very few of them allow you to have friendships, really strong friendships, in addition to romances. It's like you can't somehow establish, yeah, we're just gonna be friends, no hard feelings, earlier, so that you're not essentially leading people on, because it's like being nice to people. Sometimes you just want to be nice to people because you like them as friends, and not because you're trying to like lead them on or flirt with them. So it just feels really unnatural. If I was given the option to just return the ring, then we would have been able to like maybe actually establish more of a friendship than having this drama. So yeah, it's not just a problem with this game. It's a lot, virtually almost every other visual novel game. Seduce Me did it decently well, because it really did feel like you were still friends with everybody. Roommates did it well. It still seemed like you were friends with everybody. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that you didn't have to stress over telling me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should get back to work. Kamal nods and Vincent leaves the two of us on our own. You think he's really okay? No, but I think he will be. You didn't do anything wrong, Marcel. Someone was going to get hurt either way. Yeah, I know. Let's get back to work ourselves, okay? Okay. Interesting. My reputation is still not all that great. We're gonna continue with taking inventory. And we will do... I honestly don't know what to do next. Everything is up, so... Write letters. Attend guest. No. Charm shopkeepers, shelve books. Charm shopkeepers, shelve books. Trying to get everything to 20 now. How are my relationships doing? Only 17% with Kamal. I kind of am a little upset that when every time I choose Kamal over someone else, his relationship doesn't go up. It only brings the other person down, but it doesn't bring him up at all, which is why he's still at like 17%. Up until today, I'd been able to avoid direct contact with Lady Rosalind. Vincent has been doing his best to avoid scheduling her with anyone but himself, ever since Lady Rosalind reduced one of the servants to tears. Of course, Vincent has to do jobs for Lord Sandor too, so he can't cover her all the time. Since he's off talking with merchants in town right now, I'm in charge of seeing to Lady Rosalind's every whim, which, surprisingly, hasn't included anything completely ludicrous yet. Maybe she's not as bad as the others make her out to be, even if she's obviously vying for Lord Sandor's fortune. Then again, I've only been around her for an hour or so far. Still, I still don't see why she can't use her own servants. I know she has them snooping around the place, but she could at least keep one of them nearby. How much information can they really gather? I brought the tea you requested. Oh, good, now pour it. I nod and step forward towards a small round table in the corner of her guest room before tipping the teapot. Once her cup is filled, I step back out of the way. Lady Rosalind waits a moment for it to cool off and then raises the cup to her lips. She hesitates and then takes a cautious sip. Did you make this tea? No, your ladyship. It's the truth, but I still hope I didn't get anyone in trouble by answering her. It's possible, I suppose. Much better that horrible drivel that other servant tried to make me drink a while back. Still, Lord Sander could stand to spend a bit more and buy some proper servants. Higher. I freeze, realizing I said that out loud. That was definitely something I had meant to keep in thought form only. Excuse me? The way she stares at me, challengingly tells me she knows exactly what I said. She just gives me an opportunity to back off. I bit my lip, knowing that I should take it. Still, I've already gone this far. Hire, not buy. We work for him, but that doesn't make us slaves. Lady Rosalind leans back in her chair and lets out a laugh as she sets down her cup. You're right, of course. There's a difference between slaves and servants. When a slave obeys, it is because they don't have a choice. They can be beaten, sold, even killed on their master's whims, so it is in their best interest to listen to whatever they're told. The worst I can do to my servants is fire them and drag their names so far through the dirt that no one will ever consider hiring them again. But I am getting away from my point. You are not a slave. You are a servant. Someone that chooses to degrade yourself by obeying the orders of another for mere coin. You and the others may think highly of yourselves, being in such close proximity to those of us with real rank nobility, but in actuality you are the lowest of the low. No, my dear, you are the lowest of the low because of that attitude you just sassed me. Bah, Felicia. I have more respect for slaves than I have for servants. She picks up her cup and takes another sip, mulling over her next thought before continuing. This is why I need to get Kamal up here, because he's not nice. I'll admit that I admire the fact that you haven't had every last shred of dignity stamped out of you just yet. However, know that if you disrespect me again, I will do everything within my power to make your life a living hell. She smiles smugly. Filth should understand they are filth. I'd like to punch her. I know Kamal would if he heard something like this. Still, he's not the person I should be channeling. Vincent trusts me to keep a level head with her. If I can't do that for myself, I can at least try to do that for him and Lord Sander's other servants. I can't let her words get to me. If she's really so special, why does she have to rely on us lowlives anyway? Her words don't have as much logic behind them as she'd like me to think. Of course, your ladyship. That's much better. Lady Rosalind finished off her first cup of tea and has me pour her some more. She sits idly for a minute or two before striking up another conversation. What was your name again? I never said it in the first place. Marcel, ma'am. Marcel, huh? And how did you come to work for Lady Sandor? Well, I can't exactly tell her I came to meet my biological father. She'd definitely hold it against me if she realized I was her competition for Lord Sander's inheritance. I keep my answer simple. The same as any servant, I suppose. I needed the money, so I asked around and found out Lord Sander was looking to hire someone new. So your money is your main motivation? Yes, I suppose so. Your loyalty belongs to whoever can put the most money in your pocket, then. I didn't say that. I'm not judging you. At least not for that. It's a logical way to do things. Sometimes you have to be a little cutthroat to make your way into the world. Anyway, that means you have no particular love for Lord Sandor. It's just business. Is this correct? The answer is yes. But as a servant, I don't feel like that's something I should tell her. She's a little too interested in my opinion for my liking. I don't think that's something I should answer. Fine, I'll phrase it like this. If someone paid you more, would you work for them instead? Pay me more or treat me better? Pay me more? No. Treat me better? Yes. Which I don't think you would do, lady. Again, she put me in an awkward position. I decided that if I'm going to stop her questions, I'll have to be a bit forward. I'm not going to work for you, if that's what you're asking. I'm not asking you to portray Lord Sandor. Really, because that's exactly what it sounds like. I may not like him, but I certainly don't like this woman either. I'm just worried about him. He's so stubborn. If I'm going to get any information on his well-being, it'll have to be from someone other than myself. Just on his well-being? Well, yes, that is the information I am primarily interested in, but anything of note would be appreciated. I'm willing to pay for the more significant bits of information. She leans forward in her chair, her gaze intently upon me as she places a hand gently on my arm.